patchwork of different music and a patchwork of different sounds. Like, there were no bands, but there were records. So let's find a new way.
They actually played together with the DJs during the podcast.
Thank you, DJ Khaled. But the point is like, my point rather, is just that, like, hip hop has always been something that was created and made fresh and made new. And so it's not being refreshed, or it's being refreshed very slowly. It's being repeated, and it's frustrating when everybody feels like they know everything, because they don't, because hip hop evolves and grows. It's always been a live animal.
And now it's stale. I mean, and that was one of the things I remember even when we went to the Netroots conference, you know, and getting to actually what you were talking a little bit about was hip hop can't help but be political. From its very foundation, whether or not you want to own it. Hip hop can't help but be political, right? Even if you look back at Wild Style, they had their money, they had their women, they had their parties, but there was still always that piece of something else that had to be discussed. What we're witnessing now is an imbalance, the same thing that we witness in domestic violence or any type of violence, an imbalance of power that happens when an identity is so shaken and so disrupted that they can no longer stand on their own 2 feet to make a boundary. That's what we're seeing. Boundaries have been penetrated. Boundaries have been infiltrated. And nobody wants to stand up to necessarily take responsibility because we're abused. When you're abused, you don't even know that you're being abused, right? Yeah. And sometimes even when you do, the psychological damage of that is so much, we can jump hoops around that. We have mental gymnastics to defend this. So what we're seeing is that larger sickness, and it's a soul sickness. It's a soul sickness that we're witnessing right now, be it rap, hip hop, whatever you want to call it. Right? Right? No, it's not the same, but at the same time, if we wanted to get technical, right, rap is the speaking portion of hip-hop music, or that rap is the portion that rides a beat.
Not for me.
Right, but that's still, and for everyone it's going to be different, but from technical terms, right, technical terms, rap, the words that ride the beat, right? They've taken rap because now they only want one avenue, the avenue that's going to pay the most to come out and express all of hip-hop. That's the problem. We have powers that be that have allowed certain things in, and they only want us to see one lens. That is not the only lens that's being created. I can name you 10 MCs right now who are still true to what some would call true hip-hop culture. But because they're not allowed out, that's not the conversation, right?
Well, and
that's not the conversation.
Most of your radio stations aren't, it's not like the DJ on the radio, a major radio station is picking what they're playing.
I do.
You're not a major station, Cal.
Shut the fuck up.